And if we could identify those people before they commit crimes, I think that would be helpful.
Well,
So those two ideas come into mind about Crystal was saying is prevention, basically. Take care of those people before we have the crimes committed. I like that idea too. So those are just a couple of my thoughts.
yeah,
I like that.
There's new science coming out too with like DNA and CRISPR. Like this is mainly because I had cancer and stuff. And I was like looking into like all the cancer research and everything. But they can identify things like markers that will show if you're going to grow up and have a tumor, you know, or if you're gonna maybe be like a psychopath, you know, like they might be able to see that within your DNA, like your genome, and they can use CRISPR, which is like a really fancy way to say like it goes in, it finds that like sociopath code, and it just cuts it out, and then it patches it up, and like that's no longer in there. So like you can, but see, then there's like a lot of where the religious like people will say like you're playing God now, like you're messing with free will and stuff like that, but really it's like on the science
they have no problem with that though, when it comes to keeping a woman who's dead alive so she can give birth to a child. Right, they have no problem with it then.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Yeah, that's so true. But
they only want to play God when they want to play God. Don't let anybody else play God.
Yep.
I think that there's ways that like you can do things where like, you know, if it's 100% identifiable like a tumor or like maybe some sort of like sociopathic DNA trait that's passed down, like congenital trait, then yeah, I'm all for like, why not? It's not actually taking away their free will. They're still going to be able to be shaped by, you know, nature versus nurture. You know, like who you're brought up with and who you're around definitely affects like your upbringing, you know, yourself. And so I think that that's completely fine to like help a person along and maybe extend their life, like, and also help their general just mental health.
Well, the idea of that playing God would be narrowed down to us understanding that eating healthy prolongs life. Is that playing God? I mean, just because we have the understanding of what helps us live longer or whatever it might be, is that taking away somebody's free will? That's how stupid that comment is.
Yeah.
But can you tell me what CRISPR is? I just had a mastectomy 2 weeks ago. I would have loved if that had been prevented. Right. But just tell me I don't understand. Is that a medical process, or tell me a little bit more about that?
What CRISPR is like,
while you guys talk, I'll be right back. Okay.
In this harkens back to when I was pre-med and I was in my genetics class. It was just kind of like new stuff. RNA and an RNA, it's like a little like computer code. Your DNA is like a computer code strung out. Yeah. And RNA or mRNA will come on, and usually what it will do is like it's like a little like train car that rides the computer code, and then it'll spit out proteins, and those proteins will end up being things like this protein's for eyeball like creation, this protein's for bone creation, you know, or like this protein's for enzyme creation, or like an organ, or it might be for a tumor. And like that's where they have been able to like identify these certain parts of DNA. There's a technology that acts like that train car, but instead of like reading it and it gets a little scary, and it's like eugenics does get like a little bit into the comic, you know, like within our subjective morals and ways that we could prevent
horrid things that happen to people. World, if cancer is, like undone, and
I think so.
I would think so too.
Babies. That's what
Right. Yeah, like don't. That would be weird, honestly. And like he had in the greater like science and population, but like right now they started to use it to identify like breast cancer is something that they can identify, like while you're in the womb. Like still
really
developed.
really cool. I'll look. Is CRISPR a
CRISPR.
Is it an acronym
Yeah,
or
I think so.
okay? I can try
Gene editing. That's what it's called. Yeah, gene editing. So like it actually like it's interesting. It's all coming out. So hopefully they can do things like prevent cancer or regrow limbs with it. Like you can like literally somebody losing an arm, they can like regrow your limb with stuff like that. They can all work, however. Now that again, talking about like possible like mutants or something, maybe they get crazy with it where they want to grow. But there's good to be done in that.
Mm-hmm. And you said you were pre-med.
Mm-hmm.
So you know.
Not anymore. No, I changed and I started like looking at how I didn't like the stuff I was like studying off, and so I went over to become like a history major. Now I'm like an accountant. So I'm just a jack of all trades.
You flopped around a lot, didn't you?
I'm a jack of all.
Very
I want wings to Earth sanctuary.
Yeah, let's do that.
Wings would be kind of cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, how are you? Wait, before you go, I want to know how you're feeling. How are you doing since your mastectomy?
Okay, thank you for asking. So my like this is not like that. This is a major surgery. It's 6 to 8 weeks recovery. So I'm going, and I had planned all these things like, okay, I'm going to lay in bed, read cookbooks, and my mom can organize my house. I was up and going into other things. So if you're in here and you're, having to have a mastectomy, obviously I can't speak a lot of things. It was not that bad. So I might be an anomaly, but thank you for asking. I'm doing great. I just, you know what?
Well, good.
To empty that drain twice a day, and the annoyingness of being basically on a leash. That was the worst part for me, but I got that out. Thank you for asking, Crystal. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I had shoulder surgery, and they also told me I was not be able to move the arm at all, and it's my right hand, so it's my dominant hand. And then after, and so I didn't have to wear the sling or anything, and then when I went into physical therapy, she thought I had surgery. She was like, I don't think you've had the full surgery. I think he just did a cleanup. I don't think he. And I'm like, no, I had full rose.
Give you
the like worst case scenario so that when that doesn't happen, you feel, oh, I'm doing great. Or if a theory is behind that. But I'm glad it
I
wasn't me.
don't know. Yeah. Well, even my uncle had rotator cuff surgery not long ago, and he told me, and he said that his, like another relative of his or something, had surgery, and they didn't do the in their, shoulder or whatever, and yeah, so he was like, make sure you do it, and I do it.
Go with that.
We do.
There you go.
We're just badasses, and that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not like
No
other
little
heroes.
surgery. That's right.
Right,
Okay.
yes.
Thank you, love.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming up. We really appreciate you. Big W in the chat. For in the chat, and you want to come up and ask the guys a question, the guest box is open. But here, while we're waiting, I know a little bit about both of them, but not in depth, okay? So, Benny, you never really fell for this shit, the way some of our moms did. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what it was like for you and your walk with the
Catholic. I've told this story a few times before, and I've posted this cartoon. This is what it's gonna lead into. In the Discord before. I can always every Wednesday, or it was like a morning thing where you would go and you would learn Catholic things, and you would like do coloring, maybe 7. And one night, or like one class, they told like the proudest tree or something like that, and it's a book, and like proudest tree, yeah, the proud tree. And if you look it up on YouTube, it's there, and it's like traumatizing of a cartoon to be watching as a kid, because it's about this like tree that's like, oh, haha, I'm the coolest tree ever, and being cut down, and he's like, ah, and they're like axing him and like cutting him down, and he's like, what's happening? And then he wakes up, and he's the crew Jesus who's like being like tortured and whipped, and like Jesus has to like carry him through the thing, and then like he like passes out or something, and then like wakes up again, and this is all like in a cartoon, and like he's like bloody, and it's very dark and scary, and it was, first of all, like, why it's like so scary. I like it freaked me the F out. Like I had like a panic attack as a kid, because I was like, I don't like it just seemed like
Yeah,
really violent
Mimi
and
said that
gross.
sounds like an evil version of the Giving Tree. I wonder if they were trying to rip off the.
On Facebook. It's there, the whole thing. It's like 30 minutes, and it's like kind of scary, like cartoon. It's like that, but they like move, and then I don't know. It's very cursed, and I hadn't like. I started crying and like my mom ever again, and after that I was like, I have such a bad taste in my mouth about all of this. and I was just like, this is evil. I don't like.
I would say that the verdict is in. I've done my 2 seconds of very in-depth research, and The Proud Tree was written in 1976. I would just say it's another thing that Christians ripped off and tried.
Yeah. Love.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Interesting.
Me too.
Yeah.
I know I've like read The Giving Tree, but yeah, the Proud. Don't show your kids that freaking cartoon. Like,
Okay.
if your kids like it, there's
Or
something
do,
wrong.
so it turns.
Maybe we need to get that in the hands of every church.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that's how it's always been. Like then after that, anytime I loved like the little hymns that were fun, but then I would like look up and there'd be this like really detailed bloody Jesus. I couldn't look at them, you know, like
Yeah,
scary.
yeah, I can imagine.
I'm sick, but I'm good. So,
Anna,
hey, I have a question for you guys. If you haven't to work together to solve it,
I like that.
that's a really good question. Communication, uh, my opinion or like my view or like this made me feel and explaining yourself, I think is very helpful. Like Seth and I, like we've gotten into arguments before, but we're like an argument that's gone on longer than like maybe like an hour. You know, before we like calm down and we'll
Yeah.
and
I'd say
like
like
hash it out.
taking a step back and like problem with like catastrophic thinking where one bad thing happens and it's like, oh, and like being conscious of that and making sure that you avoid those traps. Taking a breath. You might need to like walk away for a minute, but that's okay. And that's also advice for myself because I'm very passive and
Just let it out, like, but
yeah.
like do it when you're like not very emotionally charged. Like let it out and try and get it is the best way. And active listening is another thing. Like a lot of people will talk with each other, like listening and really like giving them like the time and like your empathy and sympathy and really helps. It can also be bad though because I end up being like too empathetic to where I'm like, come on guys, you know, like maybe I'm not like a really bad example, but you know what I mean.
Benny is the good cop in every situation, but he is too nice, and that is why
Yeah.
we make a good balance.
Right.
especially remotely attractive. He'll be like, oh, like,
Yeah.
it's
I'll want to
okay.
adopt them or
He's,
something.
you know,
Yeah.
oh, who would have imagined that? Everybody else but Denny.
Been
Turns
there,
out,
done that.
like, the absolute best in anybody. It's wild. Like, to a fault.
How did you two meet? Cool. Where did you guys go for your first date? Look at you guys go like online, on the apps, whatever. But back in my day, it was at a bar, right? Like I'm at a bar, just, you know, on the apps or whatever. But it's still my goddamn story. I met Doug. You were like, hey, I don't feel like going to a pickup bar because I'm here to play pool, not pick up on somebody. And then we pick up on each other. Yeah. But you guys should like your story. Whatever app
No.
it was
It
your
is a
app,
good
and it was
story.
your cute little
It's-
dating story.
It's just kind of
The Spotify, it was like during the time of Spotify Wrapped, and like it would have you like your end of the year, all the music that you've been listening to for the year, and we have very, very, very similar taste in music.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
that is something that like I see of people based on music they like. Or more so like if they're like, oh, I just like all kinds of music. And it's like, you don't like music. No, I
Music, don't because
you're
like
different,
I'm
though. You actually like will sing songs and like things like a lot of people like
I
it's
think
just
the issue with that statement, though, is like personally, when I would ask that question, because it was, you know, I wanted,
yeah. Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
like listen to music, and we would just like jam together, and
yeah. A
but
lot
like
of our
when I would
exes
ask, and if people just said like, "Oh, all kinds," it's like,
Oh yeah.
what are you
Okay.
gonna do with like what am I supposed to do with that answer?
If you were to ask me that question, I wouldn't just go all kinds. But the reality is, like, um, with everything about me, well, I don't have a favorite color, but I have like favorite colors for certain things. Like I would love a cherry. I have a green Mustang, but and it's a 66. But I'd like a 64 and a half cherry red. But red isn't my favorite color. I just think cherry, like I I don't listen to rap every day, and I couldn't tell you the top 10 rap artists, but I will listen to some Kendrick Lamar. I love listening to Black Atheist rants. If you haven't listened to his atheist rap, you freaking should, because it's great, right? But listen to something that's gonna be, you know, like my favorite music is jazz. But I'll listen to Pinkbeard sing country any day of the week because he fucking depends on my mood. Today, do I feel like putting shit kickers and a 10-gallon hat on and doing a line dance? You want to scat with Al Jarreau, okay?
right. Okay, like yeah, when it comes to like musical taste, I would say it's a like really hardcore like gangster rap from the South, like 3-6 Mafia, to I don't know,
Yeah.
like Seals and Croft or something. Like I got it all. I like
know
all of
your
it. I do
favorite
get that.
music is that, worship songs are your favorite.
Hillsong.
Contemporary
Yeah,
Christian music.
Hillsong, that's what I'm thinking of. Hillsong, yes, yes.
Oh God. I these in early 2000s Christian music. Like I was lost in that sauce when I was a kid. Not so much anymore. I don't know what's going
Me
on
neither.
anymore, but
I don't either.
I don't want to.
Where was our first date, though?
We saw Deadpool together.
Was that
Oh, that's cool.
we did
Yeah.
see Deadpool? I don't even know if that was really a date, though, was it? Would you consider that a date? That was like hanging out.
It was the first time that we met
Yeah.
once before
Yeah.
we actually saw each other the first time.
First time I saw you was at Pride.
After I was after Deadpool.
Was it?
Yeah,
I don't know. Who knows anymore?
but like
It's me in person.
what?
I feel like I remember the first time I saw Seth in person. I was up in the CHI Center, which is here in Omaha, and I was up in the bleachers, and I saw him like down on the main floor, like it's like a concert venue, bleachers, and I was like, oh, so that's what he looks like. I just remember that.
Doug was cowboy boots and Levi's 501 jeans and this really long duster and a cowboy hat. And I said to my friend, I ain't never been with a cowboy. And he's not a fucking me. I thought he was a cowboy. He just liked dressing up. He had just lived in Wyoming for a long time, so he had just got back from Wyoming. Never had that, so thank you. Still. Fucking true. Does he have to think like a fucking cowboy?
Well, yeah,
I did think like a cowboy back then, and I did stay with him because, I was a little conservative. Obviously, I wasn't that conservative. I was at a pool hall, and I was, backslidden, I guess.
I feel like the 80s really had those. Everybody was
80s and 90s. Oh, wait. Yes, it's the 90s because my son is born. So it's the 90s now. 1995. So we are a 90s couple for sure.
I can imagine.
This year,
what that was.
30
I
years.
bet I know exactly what that was.
You tell me something and I'll tell you what really happened, okay? Go ahead. What was it like?
Light pastels.
Black and white. I did have some bangs. I did have bangs.
I feel like blonde, like kind of like a bot, and then like a nice long like floral
beating on.
California, though. I'm thinking like Midwestern wedding. I'm like picturing like my aunt's wedding, which is pretty
I
much.
got married at the Garden of the Gods.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it was. My friend said, "Why don't we do it at the Garden of the Gods?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah! Who doesn't want to say 20 years for years this year?" I still love saying that. It's so cool.
That's awesome.
Where did you get married? The Garden of the Gods.
My aunt chapel that's within a hospital that she worked at. And I felt like that was like very 90s. Like,
Yeah, my mom was mad. She was so mad that we were getting married outside. She believed that God could not. And I was adamant that that was the dumbest thing I had ever heard because God's church was nature and that I should be getting married at a sanctuary where I was going to get married, right? And she was so mad that I was getting married outside. And I was like, but I actually have I could not fathom that it needed to be in a building. Like, to me, that was just, I think I was deconstructing, is what I was doing, you know? So I just didn't know I was doing that already. But I was like, nah, I'm getting married outside. She hated everything about the wedding. My husband wore a tux, so did my son. And I thought they looked adorable. And, you know, because we were getting married in Colorado, I had to give them that.
yeah, it's got to have that Colorado feel. I definitely get what you're saying. Bolo tie,
Yeah.
cowboy hat. It's like Garden of the Gods is
Yeah.
like right before the desert. It's like between the mountains and the desert. I think.
Yeah, and we got married. I don't remember if it's called the Three Veils or the Three Sisters or something. But we got married right by that rock formation and everything.
See, like that's like where my family would always like go and trip.
Levi's 501s, buddy.
What?
Little button fly.
Yeah. Button flies. Now that's something you don't want when you're drinking.
That's so funny.
Like fighting with your button fly for like 2 minutes before you. That's how you.
Granted, did you have other questions for Benny and Seth? Oh.
So I had to put it on mute.
Question. I didn't know if it was like a. Was that like a debate argument you meant, or like a couples argument?
Maybe like a couple's argument. If I ever decide I do want to have a partner, all the information I can get about communicating well, I want. You know, like,
It's one thing that's something we've been through a lot too. Where just recently, like with all the cancer stuff, and I had to go through this huge surgery. Like they had to take out like 60 lymph nodes that were cancerous.
that's a lot.
From my aorta, which means that they had to take all the move it out. So it was a big thing where Seth,
Surgery.
Seth took time off. We went out. We flew out. I was cared for. Like slept in the hotel room the first night. You know, like and got me sodas, even though I wasn't supposed to drink any sodas. Communication, I think, is what got us there.
Nice. That's awesome.
Buddy says, I'm in Texas. They take in July in Austin. If anybody's in the Austin area and you want to like meet up with me and say hi, the one in the stickers. If you are one of the subscribers, you will see my cutie patootie in the stickers down there. She's the cutest baby in the world. I could talk to the two of you all fucking day long. Okay, so I actually think that we should move on to the game because this will go on way. And you want to come up and play everybody's favorite game, Divine or Decline. The request box is open. The other day got 9 out of 10 correct. 9 out of 10.
That's good.
I think 5 or 6.
I'm not good at it. Even though I know the Bible pretty well, I'm not good at it for some reason.
Well, what do you mean for some reason? It's a hard steal from the Bible. So, of course, they all sound alike. And, of course, the Book of Crystal always sounds like the Bible because, well, I try not to make it sound like that.
I feel like there's also this level of like how much we like. It's like, no, that's not what it says. I swear the verse goes like this.
Right,
No,
right.
that's just all. That's your subconscious.
I'm sitting in this. If you guys want to come up and play with us. Oh, I forgot. Fee has a really good high score too. I think so does bad score to my knowledge. Nobody has claimed that.
So Philly Red's got like an important thing. I just looked it up. The Mad Leaves. You already know what it is, and
yeah,
I guess like it's trying to make its way over to Gaza, and
yes,
on that, and
absolutely.
everybody needs to be watching on how it's received by Israel. Is honestly that's all I'm gonna say.
He's awesome. Mezzo, why don't you come up and play with us? Are you busy right now? You can come up and play with us. I can't even invite you, so I don't know.
I don't blame you for
you
not wanting
guys.
to come up. It's hard.
All our chicken shits is what I get out of it, okay? And,
Oh,
okay,
shit.
I forgot about that. Dang it.
That's why we
Dang
didn't
it.
have ass today. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's Sunday ass.
It kind of ruins
It's
like
just
my
on a Sunday without ass right when I first wake up in the morning.
yeah. If
You
I don't
know?
have ass in the morning, talk to me until
I
I've had
only get ass once a week. It's on Sunday. And then when I don't get it, it's like, what the fuck? You know? From the ass and on to define or decline. If you are a subscriber, you have special stickers for the game. They are in the up if it is divine. Put the D with the horns that's facing backwards if it's decline. Here's how we play. I'm going to read the book, and it has not been misquoted. That means the answer is divine. If it is from the Quran, if it is from then it's decline, okay? So that's it. There's no points. There's no winners. There's no losers. Just a bunch of people. Okay, ready? I'm gonna. Do you guys want me to go Granny down to Benny or Benny up to Granny? Which way are we going? Okay, ready? Here we go. Bless those who persecute you, bless, and do not curse.
I don't think that it's a decline. That's all I'm going to say right now.
All right, Grana.
Trinity says decline, I say divine.
Grana, you are right. 14.
Paul said it.
Yeah, I
This
guess.
is why, like, how hypocritical, like, persecution do, especially, like, the
Yes.
free ones.
Paul is
Yep,
such a
yep.
bitch.
He enriches and impoverishes. Benny boy.
I'll say decline again.
All right. Seth,
You read it.
last one. And that it is he who enriches and impoverishes.
I'm saying decline.
Okay, it is decline, you guys. That is from the Quran, and that is on Najm 53:48. Whatever. Well, it's Najm. Najm.
Yeah.
Najm. I don't know. Some praise their chariots and some their horses, but we will praise the name of the Lord our God. Benny boy. Seth.
Divine.
Grana.
Some for so it's definitely divine.
That is divine, you guys. Very good. That's Psalms 27.
Said divine too, sorry.
Awesome. I didn't ever sing it, so. Yeah, she was just singing, but I never heard that one. Okay. And he shall be great like unto O house of Israel. Benny.
I mean, that definitely sounds talking Mormon. Could be talking Mormon. I'll say divine.
Okay. Seth.
This is some crystal nonsense.
Is decline, and that is the Book of Mormon, Benny. You guessed it. That's second Nephi 3:9.
A trick one. You know, like a trick.
But it wasn't me.
Where it's like, oh, this sounds like it's Mormon, but it's actually the Bible.
That's just Moses. I might put it in there more. Or maybe sometimes I'll mention Moses, because, yeah, then they won't know I made it.
You need like levels. You need like easy to like hard. Like, okay, this one's level 10.
And then he placed his hand on his thigh, and on that day they made a covenant before God and before all the people.
I think I know exactly what it's talking to.
Granite.
You want
I say divine.
Trinity says divine, I say decline.
Grand Crystal, I just knew that people put their hands on their thighs to make covenants, and they did it.
And he sounded so sure.
Of course, yes, there are.
Just not
I don't
quite.
like this verbatim fallacy bullshit.
I don't even do ones that I have like. I just was like, this sounds like it. I'm just gonna put it down. I knew that it's funny that people don't know that testament comes from the word testes because they would grab each other's balls to make it. Okay.
Yeah, didn't that really happen with Abraham and his servant, like Eleazar? Yeah, it won't. God.
Okay. Behold, we lay a tool here as in the day we have sought them for battle. Benny. All right, Seth.
Do the opposite of what I'm saying, because I'm awful.
Can you read it again, please?
Sure. Behold, we lay a tool here, and on the we have sought them for battle.
On the morrow?
Mm-hmm.
Who talks like that?
American Standard Bible.
The evidence is... I don't know if it would use the word moral.
Weird.
We both say decline.
That is decline. It is weird because that would be from the Book of Mormon. That is element.
Yeah. I mean, I know it means tomorrow.
Because tomorrow means, two.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it was giving like weird Mormon.
It was. Yeah. It was. Them will be their past enjoyments. Penny boy.
What was that again?
Avoid.
I'm gonna say divine. I don't know why, but yeah, I'm just gonna say.
Okay, Grandma.
Both of us say decline.
And that was Decon 26207.
Now that you say that, that does sound very Qur'ani, where it's like, oh, you'll get 40 virgins.
Okay. The conclusion when everything has been heard is fear God and keep his commandments because this
It sounds made up. It sounds close.
Decline.
Okay, Grana.
We both say decline.
Okay, you're all roll. I like it that L says Karani. That sounds Karani. That sounds Momo.
That's Momo.
That's so Momo. Okay. Number 9. And everything. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't read words. Miracles in the name of the Lord. Benny.
That's divine, right?
Decline.
You do that because Benny's down there going, oh no.
Let's see, decline. No, I'm nervous.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, he said divine. Oh, no, but it's divine. I'm forgetting the
Oh, okay. Like that.
Signs and wonders.
I didn't know what they said.
Signs and wonders. It doesn't say miracles. It says signs and wonders.
Okay. And I didn't know what it said. I know that this says something about them doing miracles or something. All right, you guys, number 10. This is for all the marbles. Okay, Adol.
This is where I win.
Certainly the Lord God does nothing unless he reveals his secret plan to us. Let me say it again. Certainly the Lord God does nothing unless he reveals his secret plan to his servants and prophets. Benny.
I don't think that's... Unless it's in the New Testament and they repeat it, that's not how it's said.
I'm just gonna say divine.
Okay. Grana. That is divine. That is Amos 3:7. And
Amos.
that is
If I counted right, that is.
Deuteronomy says, like God does like speak to his servants, but it's more like if it does not come true, then it is not.
I can't remember his name is. He used to bring up Demi. He used to bring this up a lot because he was like, it's everything he plans to do, then why didn't any of them actually prophesy Jesus clearly?
Yeah.
Right.
Drop down, Crystal, but thank you all. That was
Grana, thank you for being here. You guys, big
Bye,
W in the
Grana.
chat for Grana. We love you. You're always such a... And Trinity, too, you guys being here. Beth and Beth. You're Beth now. You're just Beth. That's your name.
Beth.
The two of you are Beth.
And Dawn? Was Dawn?
Yes. Was Dawn the whole backup singers, or was it just one backup singer? Which one was Dawn?
We had two fish that we named Dawn. There were two like yellow cichlids, and we would just name them both Dawn.
Love that. I love Tony Orlando. Oh, tie a yellow ribbon round the old tree.
That was about the hostage crisis. Did you know that?
What? Do you want to know what my mom told me that was?
What?
And then they got out. They would be like, hey, I don't know if you want me coming back home, so tie a ribbon on the tree and I'll know you're good with me coming back now.
I gotta look this up.
Well, so I watched this documentary on the Iran hostage crisis, and the wife of the like main she like went public and like wanted this like very peaceful, non-violent like way Americans, and they came up with this tie a yellow ribbon around the tree in your front yard or a pole or what have you. And I don't know if there's like other.
No.
This is it originated from the song by Tony. The yellow ribbon became a widely recognized symbol of support for the return of American hostages held in Iran. Beyond this, it's also been used to represent support for troops and military
Troops that are
service.
on. Yeah, that's another.
Okay,
An
but wait, I
alignment
want to know, where did Tony Orlando get it? Like, did
From the lady, she was campaigning, and I think he made the song in like solidarity.
I thought he wrote it before?
I don't see
But,
anything
like, not
about
hostages.
that. I think your mom was smoking something.
Not right to tie a yellow ribbon. This song was written by L. Russell Brown and Irwin Levine. The song follows a story about a man returning home from a 3-year absence and uses a yellow.
See, there's always a story behind the story.
The song is told prison.
Oh my
Dear.
Your mom wins.
Now I've got to know what is and isn't mine. Still in prison, and my love, she holds the key. Those are actual words in the song. Okay, so she didn't lie to me. My mom.
It got popular because of Iran and all of that, I guess. I don't know.
And just to bring the show, fuck Nancy. No, just kidding.
It does bring it full circle. Fuck Nancy, everybody else.
Benny, you've been going live lately. Do you intend to continue to do that?
Yeah, I want to start doing it. I've been on and up, but it's only supposed to be for like 4 weeks. I do want to go live more because I have a studio now. And I have got Ableton Live Lights, which is free. So we don't like pay for Ableton. Yeah, so I like.
All right, I love that.
I cast him a lot on the Deconstruction Junction channel, and sooner or later, Mezzo's gonna, either blow a void, and then I'm gonna fill that void with like, I can't believe it's not Mezzo.
Oh, I love that. I love that. If you don't get that reference, people, okay, let me come in close. I'll hold your hand and tell you. Fabian was in the 80s, became very popular for that, and then he got the gig for I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. Okay, so
No, Fabio.
oh, back up, tell the whole story again, but with the right name, okay?
Yeah, Fabio. He also got hit in the face with like a pigeon.
A bird while he was on a... Yeah. One time he was in a restaurant, and somebody else famous was in the restaurant, and the famous Actually,
I've
really,
heard only good things about Fabio. So if you ever meet Fabio,
anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the likes, the shares, subbies, and all the good things, and some kudos real quick. And Seth, some kudos real quick. Benny is the creator and founder of the Deconstruction Junction, creators in the Discord, and nearing 4,000 members soon, where we come together who are unhoused. We've helped people who are hungry. We have helped people who have needed medication. We have helped people pay their. We've helped people get medication that they no longer could afford. We've helped people with so many things. Big Benny, you should be doing so today. And if you're not a member of the Discord, the link is in my bio. It's the Deconstruction Junction. And Benny, I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for an amount of time too. And you're very humble. You always like to make it seem like it's everybody, but we see the hard work you put in, and not everybody sees it, but people who are close to you, we see it, and we love you, and I really am. I love you so much.
you guys as friends. This is all just me trying to win over you guys to be my friend. That's
cool, though. If that's what you're trying to do, if that's your little evil plan, what a great evil plan.
I know. Darn it. It's
To
gonna
be
help out
friends with people.
Wait. I
Hello?
can't hear.
We can't hear you, Crystal.
Muted. Wait.
I had to decline. I had to decline my daughter. I'm sure I'm going to hear about that in a minute. But Seth is how much he does behind the scenes, how much he helps people. I don't want to give away all the way he helps people because he does it quietly, and I put anybody on blast who's helping quietly, but Seth also supports so many creators. He comes into the chats. He's always sending out subscription gifts. So if you've ever received a subscription gift, good chances you've received one from Seth before, because positive and uplifting people I know, and that is why I love him. Like, he helps me so much, and he doesn't even know it. So Seth, thank you again. I can't wait to meet you guys. I do hope that in October maybe we can all go meet at your cabin for my 30th anniversary. That would be so fun. So, anyway, you guys, thank you for being here. I love you both.
Thank
you guys,
you.
everybody
We
in
love
chat,
you.
thanks for being here. And I guess I should tell you, we're going to be on the show on the 19th.
Ian?
Benny knows. Ian! Allegedly,
Yeah, that's
Ian
wild.
is going to be here.
That's a hold of sometimes.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Okay, because like, well, you know, it's who you know too. Okay, right. So I do want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to Sam, because I have become friends. So I said, could you ask Ian? And she was like, yes, I can ask Ian. So she asked Ian, and Ian agreed, and I'm really excited. Let's see. My next Decon Q&A with CrystalJae, except I haven't updated the Discord calendar, so this might not be.
Schedules.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
so,
that's true.
yeah, you could post it there too. So now.
I have Tahir and Garnet gonna be on the show soon. Tahir and
That's
Garnet
gonna be
have a right. I'm so excited. They have a podcast out YouTube. So it's I'm sorry, scattered. God, I don't know why I do this. I want it to be sacred up every time, but it is scattered foundations, right? And isn't it
It's called Shattered Foundations.
trying to
Like long name. I like it.
Yes, I'm sorry I fuck it up every time. I don't know why.
They just do scat actually the whole time.
It's just algebra. It's him constantly. And Tahir and Garnet come in every once in a while with a doo-wop. It's really good. We call them Dawn. By the way,
I'm not even elevated right now.
They are done.
They are Dawn. They really are.
Go eat some lunch.
I
It was
love
a
you
great
guys.
morning. This is a good way to spend the morning. A little hungover.
It was
and
really
and
fun.